Anyway, so that's a little sus. Now let's see if we can get that squelch for you. Oh, how did you like that? I'm Mike Dimas, and this is Pinball Shenanigans. Okay, I'm back, and today we got to sort out why we have no solenoids and no controlled lamps. I think it should be fairly simple to figure out. Knock on wood. Knock on genie. It could be that one of my fuses blew for the solenoids, and also possibly the controlled lamps or connectors. Jeff Jones from Pinball Reborn messaged me and said, "You forgot to plug in these cables. Shouldn't they be plugged in?" And I don't think they need to be plugged in. They're just for the soundboard. But good eye, Jeff. By the way, he is one of the top restorers of pinball machines in the universe. So I gotta say that, hands down, some of the best work in the universe. So check out Pinball Reborn. Anyway, I could plug these in for fun and see if that does anything. We know we're not going to get sound because my speaker is not connected. I got a couple hacked wires there that I got to hack back together again. So I am going to sniff around a little bit and see what I can find. Hopefully it's something like a blown fuse. If so, we're going to be going back to the question of why did the fuse blow? The fuse blowing is the symptom, but it is not the actual issue, right? So we'll have to trace that down if that is in fact what it is. So here we go. It's magic time. Hey, I called it right this time. Okay, so far I have tested all my fuses. They are good. My under playfield fuse is good. But I checked the voltages at my solenoids and I'm not getting any voltage there, provided that I'm doing it right, which I think I am. The black lead goes to ground and the red lead goes to either tab of the solenoid. Pretty sure that's the correct way of testing them. So then I moved on to, what did I do? Well, I've kind of rechecked on these voltages on the solenoid driver. They're all good. And then I did connect the soundboard cables to the Altec MPU. And what happened when I turned it on was the LED locked on. So I think I got a bad soundboard, potentially. Which, when I first tested the machine with the original board, that's what happened, right? Solenoid locked on. I mean, the LED locked on. Wait, why am I connecting that? This is what I want to do now, is actually leave those disconnected and try to see if the original CPU will now boot. So I kind of have a feeling it might. Let's see what happens here. Okay, it does not. So I guess I'm going to stick to the Altec MPU for now. And for S and G, I'm going to go get my other soundboard. When I was working on Nugent, I was fighting between two soundboards, and eventually I got both working. Well, my board guy did. But I had to send it back to him once because it was still not working on my end. Soundboards are the most finicky boards of them all. My board guy can get them working perfectly on his end, and then sometimes on my end, there's something different. I guess it's sometimes the difference between bench testing and testing in an actual machine. So I have what I believe to be a perfectly good, known working SB100 Stern soundboard upstairs. So like I said, for S&G, I'm going to go get that, plug that in, and see if anything different happens. Oh, and just for fun, I think... Did I start a game? I don't know. At one point I had 700 points, but let's... oh no, we can't go into diagnostics yet. I gotta put in this Altec first. But I was able to go through the tests, and maybe I'll show you in a bit, but the controlled lamps on the back panel here we're working, like player 1, 2, 3, 4. So we do have some controlled lamps, but that is, you know, one connector on the power supply here goes to the back box and the other goes to the play field, if I recall correctly. So I wonder if still something's funky going on with this wiring. Anyway, all things I have to investigate. Also, like, do I need to reconnect these solenoid wires? Are they part of a daisy chain? You know, maybe they need to all be connected in order for solenoid voltage to go through the machine. So those are the things I'm going to check. I shall be back. Okay, I found another soundboard here, but I don't feel like this is the one, but it's the only one I could find. So it must be. Anyway, one thing I am going to try first is on these new Altec boards, there's actually 2 extra pins for the ribbon cables, and this is pin 1 here. So I figured that they should start at pin 1 and go all the way to the left, but I'm going to try putting the ribbon cables all the way to the left, so the 2 exposed pins are now on the right, and see if we get locked on LED. Here we go. Yes, we do. Okay, so I'll have to figure out which side is the right side. I assume starting on pin 1, but I didn't really find that in the Altec manual online that I was looking at quickly. So I don't know, I'll try this other soundboard just to see what happens. Alright, it doesn't look pretty, but it's plugged in and nothing should short against anything else. The reason that there's 2 extra pins is that on more modern Sterns that have speech, like maybe Flight 2000 or whatever, I think those Stern games utilize a longer ribbon cable. Alright, let's see if anything changes here. I kind of don't feel like it's gonna... Oh, look at this. It's booting up. And my ribbon cables are all the way to the left. So, alright, so we've got a bad soundboard and presumably one good one. So that's sort of forward progress, although I'm not expecting to have sound just yet. Maybe I'll do that next, just for fun, is deal with the sound connection down here and see if I can get us some sound and kind of just, it's not necessarily the trajectory I was heading in initially, but oh well, I go on tangents. Okay, so I just asked for a photo from someone of their connector for their Stern Magic and waiting to hear back on that. I've connected it. Oh, you want to hear what it sounds like when I turn it on? Oh, it didn't do it that time. Oh, it was a loud, awful squelch. Oh, maybe because I don't have this connected. So remind me to show you the squelch. So while I'm waiting for that photo, I have been checking the wiring here because I feel like something is amiss. And I did notice this orange general illumination wire looked a little toasty. See, it's pretty brown rather than orange. I also noticed that someone at some point did extend these 2 general illumination wires, and you know, at least they match the color. So I repinned this one here, so I marked that, and I added, hopefully so I don't screw up again, this polarizing pin on the end. So we can plug that in. I don't know which general illumination this is for. Let's see. J3 is back box, right? So J2 is the cabinet, J3 is the back box. So maybe the general illumination on the back box now works. If not, what else we got? Pin 2, general illumination return, the white wire. So this guy down here, you can't really see that. I could repin these guys too if I have to, and maybe I'll just repin the whole damn thing. But the problem with this schematic is that it's not the same as what is on here. I don't have the actual Magic schematic. But the strangest thing I found so far is that, what is it, pin number 7 here. No, what number is it? It's about 7 is the key, so 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Pin 13, right here, is solenoid bus, white, yellow. My pin 13 is there, and I have nothing connected to it. Why is that? I don't know. There's differences between Sterns, and this actually could be oh no, this is actually Stern, so that's a good thing. I didn't even check for that initially, or if I did, I forgot, but anyway. So this says I've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wires on this connector. I have 4, so there are differences. Anyway, so that's a little sus. Now let's see if we can get that squelch for you. Oh, how did you like that? All right, I'm on a tangent. I'm gonna keep on rolling. Okay, here's the latest update. Basically, I'm kind of stumped. I did rewire up this solenoid, and it's all nice and happy now. So I'm good with that. And then I was gonna do this guy over here, but it just is in really not good condition. And I don't know that I trust it. It is looking a lot rough. So I'd be more comfortable if I had a good solenoid. So I didn't install that. And I just been checking on these wires a little bit more and just trying to figure something out. And in the meanwhile, I've gone backwards as usual. I no longer have playfield general illumination. Remember, this light used to work, this light used to work, and some lights around the playfield. Well, I don't have that anymore. And repinning that orange wire did not get me my general illumination on the back box unless I just have that many bad bulbs. I tried 2 or 3 of these bulbs earlier and none of them worked. So either the 2 that I grabbed a known, like a good working bulb and stuck it into one of these sockets and it did not work. So at least I have something in the right direction. Okay, well, I think what I might have to do is tomorrow go to my, I don't think I'll be able to tomorrow, but maybe go to my storage. I've got a parts meteor playfield and see if I got a good flipper solenoid. If it's even the same one, I should check the meteor manual first. Otherwise, I'll see if I can did a quick hunt for a 25 500 34 50 50. I did not find one, so I'll maybe dig a little deeper. But right now, I'm actually very stumped. Don't know what is going on yet, but you know, I'll figure it out sooner or later. Okay, I finally figured out something. I was just throwing in some good bulbs here just because, and I went to get some more bulbs and I come back and half these lights were out again. So it seems that when I wiggle one of these 2 general illumination wires, let's see, yeah, look at that. So there we go. Oh, and look, my general illumination is back on my playfield. So I think it's time to repin this entire J3 connector and just rule that out of the equation. even though all voltages are good, still stuff doesn't work. So that's what I'm going to do next. Okay, so connector is fully repinned, every single one, and you can see there's a little bit of brown by the white wire. So that got hot at some point, and you know, I don't know if this connector was somebody's doing or this was factory. It's a bit of a mystery. I don't think I've seen them at the factory come in 2 pieces before, but it's possible. Anyway, all the pins I pulled out of there were not trifuricon pins, so now I have trifuricon pins in there. And we are going to plug everything in and see what changes we get. Hopefully everything just magically works. Wouldn't that be nice? But I have to get ready for soccer, so this is about the last of what I'm going to be able to do tonight. And I just heard that the roads are really shitty out there and one of our players is not going to make it, so who knows, maybe I won't go. But anyway, I'm going to plug this in, turn on the machine, and we'll see what happens. Alright, fingers crossed. Hopefully we get some more action. At least we'll get the back box lights, I'm pretty sure. Make sure none of my other wires are touching anything they shouldn't be. Okay, here goes nothing. Well, I've got playfield general illumination, back box general illumination, displays, no controlled lamps. Why no controlled lamps? Huh. We'll go for fun into solenoid test just to see. Here's our all lamps test. See, we have controlled lamps on the back box. That kind of leads me to suspect that big J3 connector, because that is, no, cabinet. General illumination, power line, flipper switch, return, solenoid bus. Okay. Feature lamp bus. Pin 7. Supposed to be blue on J1. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like nothing in pin 7. So, WTF. But again, the schematics don't necessarily match up with this machine. Okay, let's go into solenoid test here. Display test is fine. This is solenoid test, and oops, I dropped something. Those are solenoids firing, but they are actually not firing. So that's where I'm gonna have to leave this. I don't feel like this has to be connected for solenoids to work, so I'm not suspecting that. Still feeling like there's something going on with the connector situation. It could even be the male headers on this power supply, but the fact that I'm getting all proper voltages confuses me. Anyway, that's all for tonight. I gotta go, but I thought I was gonna make a lot more progress than this tonight. I thought this game would be friggin' flipping, but the mystery continues. But that is kind of half the fun of pinball, is problem solving. It's good training for my brain. Well, I got more training to be doing, so we'll see you on the next one.